In this video, we're going to go through a simple routine that you can do each day if you're someone who tends to get crampy feet with exercise. It's worth noting that frequent or severe muscle cramps can be a sign of deficiencies in certain vitamins and minerals, so you may want to investigate that with a trusted professional. That being said, cramping is also a very common reaction in muscles that are working in ways or in ranges of movement that they're not used to, and this often resolves over time with just gradual exposure to more of these loads and ranges. But the purpose of this routine is to help accelerate that process by specifically mobilizing some key areas. So let's get stuck in. Okay, first up, we're doing plantar release. So if you've got a soulmate, the mini roller is perfect for this. Also, a cork mobility ball is great. Otherwise, you could use a lacrosse ball or even a rolling pin to achieve a similar effect. And we're starting just by rolling down the foot. Start at the base of the big toe, apply as much pressure as you can tolerate and rolling down. These plantar muscles are definitely one of the key spots, primary spots that people tend to get cramps. And so just loosening those muscles up is a great way to start. And then what you can do as well is especially find a spot that feels a bit more tender than the rest. And then from here, you can try and splay out your toes and then crunch your toes a little bit. Often people will get that crampy feeling in their plantar muscles when they do that crunch movement. So applying some pressure, deep pressure like this, and then doing the movement is a good way to sort of chase the cramp a little bit while also mobilizing the muscles. So we're going to go 1 minute on one side and then swap. So starting with your weight back, and then you're gradually adding body weight as you roll down the foot. And you're looking for this hurt so good kind of feeling. It can be quite uncomfortable at first. So you don't want to be applying so much pressure that you're tensing up against it and holding your breath and making a sort of grimacy face. You want to be able to breathe and relax into whatever pressure you're putting onto the foot. But you also don't want it to be just a light tickle. So you want to be getting some deep pressure in there, similar to a deep tissue massage, basically just deep tissue massaging your own foot. Again, find a spot, and for 20 or 30 seconds, you can open and close your toes like that, crunching, splaying. You won't get as much range of motion simply because of the pressure on the plantar muscles, and it can feel a bit weird. But do your best to breathe through that. Once you've done 1 minute on the other side, you can move on. Okay, next up we're doing some calf release. Now calves are another common area to be crampy, and releasing the calves can also be very uncomfortable at first. Using a mini roller is great, but that might be a bit intense. So any kind of foam roller is good, or you can also build up by having a towel over the top. You won't be able to get as much rolling, but it'll help cushion the impact between your calf and the roller. And you can always just move your calf along, because what we're doing here with the rolling is partly loosening up, but also chasing a spot that feels like it needs more attention. And then we are purposely pointing our toes like that, and then bringing them back up towards us. So that's the main thing we're chasing here. And you're also chasing a little bit of a cramp. It's like you want to edge into the cramp feeling, but don't go so far that it's intolerable. So I'm actually getting that a little bit myself there. You find a little cramping sensation and you just try to stay on the edge of it without being sort of overtaken by it, I suppose, and then coming back in the opposite direction to stretch it out. Now, if you find that the calf isn't really as sensitive, or it feels like it needs more load, you can add on a foot for extra pressure there. And then once you've done 1 minute on one side, you can move on to the other side. So worth mentioning as well that you can change the rotation of your hip, which will obviously change the position of your leg, and that will hit different angles of your calf. So a lot of people find that the outside of their calf, just along that section, the lateral aspect as it's known, is very tender and very, there's some really good spots in there, but it's also worth rotating in to get more the medial aspect or the inside of the calf. And you can also obviously go further down. Most people find that the best spots are sort of in this bulky area, but certainly explore up and down as much as you can. Find the spot that feels like it needs more attention. There might be more, but just start with one. There might be more than one rather, but just start with one, and you can go up and down like that. You can also do little mini circles with your foot. And again, chasing just the edge of a crampy feeling and coming back out, remembering to breathe in and out through the nose. And once you've done 1 minute on both sides, you can move on. Okay, we're going to finish off with some kneeling toe extension. And this is a great thing to do because, as I said, the cramps are usually in the feet here, and stretching in the opposite direction can be a great way to loosen that up and minimize those cramps. So you're starting in this kneeling position all the way up, kneeling tall with your toes in extension. And then from here, you're just lowering your hips down towards your heels as far as you can tolerate. Often that is enough stretch even there, so you could just stick within that range of motion. And then eventually, or over time, you can build up further and further into that range of motion to apply more and more stretch. And you may find that having a cushion beneath your knees here is important for achieving this, just because of the pressure on the knees. So use as much cushioning as you need to. And you can go for reps like this, or you can hold at the end of your range of motion. If you're finding that even just this is too much pressure, then you can do a very similar thing, but using your arms to support more of your body weight and just gently rocking your hips back. So whatever level you're working at there, go for 1 minute total, and that will wrap up your routine. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying these videos and getting value out of them, please do like and subscribe. That helps support us, and we put out videos like this every week exploring foot function, balance, movement in general. And if you're looking for more structured programs and community engagement and a place to get more clinical support from TFC pros, then we do have our TFC Explorer membership that you can find out all the details about in the description below.